At the start of 2025, many MotoGP observers and fans agreed that Pecco Bagnaia would be the dominant force. This belief was reinforced by the move of his main rival, Jorge Martin, to the Aprilia team. Martin, who had won the previous season's world champion, even openly admitted that Pecco was the favorite. However, in his statement, he included a surprising admission that later became public: his admiration for Marc Marquez's performance data. Martin, who had just won the title with the Pramac Ducati team, was amazed by what he saw. He admitted that the bike he was riding, which was a year newer than the Desmosedici GP23 that Marquez rode the previous season, did not show significant advantages in several aspects. Martin couldn't even hide his surprise when he first saw the data. "Crazy, this is so fast," he exclaimed. He described how Marquez, on a theoretically older bike, was able to set very competitive times on some circuits. He even wondered, damn, how can he be so fast on this track with a Ducati? This admission was clear evidence that Marquez's talent and adaptability far surpassed his technical limitations. While Martin also noted some anomalies, such as Marquez's dip in performance in Thailand and Malaysia, he remained confident that Marquez's potential, especially with a better bike, would be truly frightening. Now, Martin faces a major challenge. As the reigning world champion, he must adapt to the Aprilia bike, while Marquez returns to the grid on the much more competitive factory Ducati bike. Martin's move to Aprilia and Marquez's return to top form on the Ducati GP25 create a new and unexpected dynamic. On the one hand, Martin must defend his title on a completely new bike, and on the other, Marquez is completely dominant in MotoGP 2025. This is what led Martin to make a statement that has now become a reality. Martin himself admitted that he initially considered Pecco the main favorite. "At first I saw Pecco as the favorite, but I'm not lying, I've seen Marc's surprising data. I was like, this is crazy fast," he said. He clearly explained how Marquez's performance on several circuits left him flabbergasted. The speed Marquez displayed, even on a bike considered underpowered on some tracks, was a true testament to his extraordinary ability. This statement demonstrates Martin's deep respect and admiration for his rival. However, Martin didn't immediately underestimate Pecco. He still saw Pecco as a rider at a very difficult level. "So, with the GP25, there's definitely room for improvement, but I think Pecco is at a very difficult level to reach," he explained at the time. With 11 wins and 2 consecutive championships, Pecco certainly has a solid track record. Martin even mentioned Pecco as the favorite for the 2025 season. However, he concluded his statement with, "We'll see," a phrase that has now become a reality. All eyes are now wide open at the incredible record of rapid progress demonstrated by Marc Marquez. What happened in the first half of the 2025 season has put all doubts to rest. Marc Marquez, the legendary rider, has resurfaced on the Desmosedici GP25. His self-deprecating statement, "This is one of the best halves of the season of my career," was no mere boast. In fact, if we compare the first 12 Grand Prix of the season to his World Championship seasons, his performance is now almost at the peak of his career. Without counting sprint races, only Sunday's results are taken into account, Marquez has collected 240 points. This 240-point tally puts him in a very strong position, second only to his stellar seasons of 2014 and 2019. This comparison demonstrates Marquez's consistent and dominant performance in the first half of the season. Returning to peak form after a long series of injuries is a remarkable feat, and Marquez proved it with convincing performances. He not only won races but also demonstrated consistency in every round. In the MotoGP paddock, speculation has begun to circulate about when Marquez will secure the World Championship. Some observers have tried to play around with interesting statistics. One of the most extreme scenarios is that Marquez could clinch the title as early as Misano, San Marino, with 6 races remaining. To achieve this, he would need to finish the San Marino Grand Prix with a 222-point lead. This scenario may sound a bit exaggerated, considering he would need to average 25.5 points over 4 rounds. However, given what happened in the Czech Republic, where he secured 37 points from the main race and sprint races, this scenario is not impossible. Marquez's dominant victory and high consistency make him a very difficult rider to beat. This demonstrates how fast and strong Marquez has become this season, able to capitalize on every opportunity presented to him. However, what is undeniable is that Marc could finish second in every race, from the Austrian GP to the Valencia GP, and the title would still be his, as long as Alex Marquez won each race. He would only lose 80 of the maximum 120 points he could achieve. This scenario, while fictional, demonstrates the sheer size of the points advantage he has accumulated in the first half of the season. This advantage gives him the flexibility to play it safe and still win the World Championship. Marquez's success stems not only from natural talent, but also from incredible hard work and adaptation. He has adapted to the Ducati, a bike with very different characteristics from the Honda he had ridden for years. This adaptation has been key to his resurgence. He has been able to maximize the bike's potential, and the Ducati team has provided full support to help him achieve peak performance. This proves that Marquez is an intelligent rider capable of adapting quickly. His rivals, including Jorge Martin, are now having to face the reality of his predictions from the beginning of the year. Martin, who initially admired Marquez's data, now has to face Marquez's real-world performance on the track. And he is speechless, unable to say anything. Martin, who had to battle hard with Aprilia, now has to watch Marquez go fast on a completely different bike. This reality is certainly a huge challenge for him. Marquez's resurgence has also created a new wave in MotoGP. Fans are excited to see one of the greatest riders of all time return to peak form. The races are becoming more exciting and intense. The intense competition between Marquez, Pecco, and the other riders makes every Grand Prix a must-see spectacle. Marquez isn't just back, he's back to dominate and make history. Marquez's story in the 2025 season is one of perseverance, dedication, and revival. After a difficult period due to injury, he didn't give up. He kept fighting, finding a way to return to the highest level. His decision to move to Ducati was a bold move that is now paying off. He's proven that with a strong mentality and the right support, he can overcome any obstacle. This is a valuable lesson for all athletes around the world. Although Marquez has demonstrated his dominance, the road to the world title remains long. The fierce competition from Pecco, Martin, and other riders will continue. They certainly won't give up easily. Every race will be a fierce battle for points. However, with the points advantage he has accumulated, Marquez is now in a very advantageous position. He has all the tools to end the season with the world title.